So, of course, thank you for the invite to Traders Corner. We love doing these events. I believe that these events are mostly geared to, and tell me if I'm wrong, but you want us to help teach people, your traders and our followers, what's going on out there, how to use the charts, and how you can make money moving forward, right? That's what I've got planned for this on this event. So I have a live trading site with a live trading room. It's really easy to get to. I run this thing 24 hours a day because here's what it really is. I live my life watching charts and trading, and I allow a lot of traders to stand over my shoulder and live their lives with me. So this is literally livewithoscar.com instead of live, because I am always in this live trading room, whether my camera is on or not. You will always find me in here. I'm waving to you right now. It's live at the moment. And my traders from around the world will gather here, and you can find me very easily at livewithoscar.com. And of course, I put out trading recommendations every day, which tell you where we're getting in, where we're getting out. I am no kid at this. I am not selling you guys a system. I have nothing to sell you today at all whatsoever. I'm only going to teach you what these charts mean and how you can make money moving forward. If you want to hang out with me, just go to livewithoscar.com and hang out with me. If you really wanted to get to know me, every 3 months, I open up a 4-day seminar. I only bring in 3, sometimes 4 people, 5. I think 6 is the most I've ever brought in at once. And I teach them my OMNI method, Oscar's Market Navigational Indicator. You show up in Vegas on a Thursday night, you're with me all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday. You go home with a brand new laptop, my knowledge, and then you've got continued education when you go home. All of that can be found at livewithoscar.com or OMNI Bootcamp. My next OMNI camp literally is September 19th. But enough of that, because that's not what you're here for. You're here for something different. Now, here's what has gotten to me over these last few weeks, over the last few months, and emails have come in and phone calls, and really concerned traders that are friends of mine for years have said to me, Oscar, what is going on? I've heard endless chat about AI-driven programs taking over the market. Algorithms are just as scary, overbearing. We don't know what to do. Humans aren't allowed to get this right anymore. It is nonsense, kids. I promise you, AI and any algorithm is using the exact same information that we have on charts, but we're human. We are much better than AI. I thought I would address this issue in today's segment. I would like to prove, as I do in these live events over and over, that technical analysis is still the most powerful tool out there for deciphering market direction moving forward. In fact, not only is AI literally just taking everything you see on this chart and coming up with the same stuff we can come up with, I promise you, but it's got a problem. AI lacks a soul. What does that mean? I'm going to take you, forget about trading for the moment. AI, you trading against AI, it's scary, it knows more than me. Well, guess what? How many of you drive a car? I'm sure many of you are saying yes right now. You drive cars, right? How many of you have been on the road? You've got a car in front of you. The guy puts his right blinker on, and you know instinctively this idiot's going left. He's not going right. I've been in this car too many times. I've seen this before. You instinctively know the guy's going to make a left instead of a right. He does 99% of the time. How many of you have experienced that sitting in your car? How could AI possibly get that right? How could AI possibly get that one right? Well, the same thing happens with trading. AI sees there's a big setup. It understands all the numbers, right? Everything's tabulated. News is coming out. AI knows if the news is bullish, it goes up. News comes out bullish, and the market cracks for no reason at all. Why? Because we're humans, and we do things that make no sense at all. And AI cannot figure out how to make sense of things that don't make sense. I promise you, and I'm going to show it to you now, AI cannot do anything that us humans can't do. You are not going to be chased out of these markets by AI, by algorithms, by anything automated. We are better than that. Technical analysis is much better than that. Let me show you an example of the power and accuracy of technical analysis. I do a YouTube video just about every night. And in that video, it tells you what will happen the next day and how to make money doing that. We are day traders. We're out to close every day. New video comes out. What will happen the next day? Well, last week, not this week, but last week, we were in a frenzy of downward movement. You can see it right here, a frenzy of downward movement. The street started to panic. The news talked about, forget about a soft landing. We're in a new recession. The Fed's got it wrong. Oh my God, you started to hear the nonsense, right? And what did I do last week? On Sunday night, I came out with a video and said, everyone calm down. During this week, last week, I will put out a video. In that video, I will have a bunch of charts that will explain to you why this week we're going to go back up, the week we're in now. Stop worrying about that coming down. I've got absolute unequivocal evidence just using charts that we're going to head back up this week. Last week, we were in the middle of a spiral. Why are we back up this week? How can I have known that? I can't possibly know it, but I'm going to show you something. If you don't mind, I need you to humor me for just a few moments. I did a video, if I can, I think I've got it queued up here. I did a video on Monday night for Tuesday last week. In that video, I promised I would show you why the market has to go back up this week and for you to not panic into last week. So the video I'm going to show you, please humor me and watch this. It's a short video. It will explain everything I looked at last week. Then we're going to move into where we are right now. You're going to take a little ride with me, and I'm going to show you why we're going up and that we will continue. So if you don't mind, this was put out last Monday night for Tuesday, or Tuesday night for Wednesday, right there, because I promised later in the week I would send out a video like this to help calm things down. So if you don't mind, you're going to have to spend a few moments watching this, but it's the only way for me to set up the rest of this webinar. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening, traders from across the globe. Traders, I know I promised I'd get out in front of the camera tonight in my video last night, but what I didn't remember was today was a special occasion and my family wanted to take me out for dinner. I forgot all about that. So we went out to dinner, but I still wanted to come back and show you what I promised I would show you this week. Now, remember, for the last 2 days, today's Tuesday night, I've been telling you there's no need to panic. I will offer charts later this week that will counteract the stock market's recent drop. As day traders, we will take this one day at a time. I made you that promise. Let's see if I can deliver. You are looking at the E-mini S&P for trading on Wednesday, August 8th, 2024. This is video number 2785. Please remember how risky it is. Risky, 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 risky. Never trade without stops and put those stops in first. The Omni killed it once again. Knew exactly where to get us in today, where to get us out with profit, then sidestep the market. So 2 days in a row, the Omni has killed it for us. And we'll see what's going to happen for trading on Wednesday. If you're not trading properly, make sure you join the Omni recommendations, the platinum recommendations at Live with Oscar. I'll send you signals when it's time to get in and out. All right, so E-mini S&P. Last night's video was titled The 200 Ball Moving Average, remember? And look what happened. We had an up day. So far, so good. But let's look around. That's not the only chart. Once again, Jones Transportation Average, after that monstrous dump, you get to the 200 ball moving average, and what happens? You get an up day. Interesting. Wall Street is watching, just like I told you in last night's video. Take a look at this. NASDAQ. We had the ugly bear flag. It developed. Boom, it worked. Blah, blah, blah. All of that's gone now. You know why? Because we're doing something new. This is what we're doing now. We've gotten to the 200 ball moving average, and so far, nice hold. Very good. Why would that be? We'll get there, I promise. If you like what you're about to see, please like, share, and subscribe to these videos all over the internet. And of course, you can be with me in my live trading room anytime you want at livewithoscar.com. Why would these markets start to hold? I promised you Monday and Tuesday I would show you charts to make you feel more comfortable about that happening. Let's continue looking. So let's move now to another chart. The Russell 2000. What happened with the Russell 2000?
You recall, we just did a, will they buy it now at the 200 bar moving average, or will they sell it through? And I will say most of you, and hundreds of you answered, most of you said, hey, they'll buy it right down here. Well, so far you've been right for trading on Tuesday, and maybe you're going to get it right for trading on Wednesday, because this is another nice hold at the 200 bar moving average. So why is all of this holding? Well, let me show you what the purpose of this video is. I told you there's no need to panic, right? I will show you charts to counteract the stock market's drop. Well, take a look. This is the 30-year T-bond market. 30-year T-bond market has interest rates dropping like crazy at the moment. What does that mean? Well, the 30-year T-bonds, when they drop, interest rates automatically rise. Jerome Powell and the Fed does not have to say or do a word. They absolutely, positively rise when 30-year bonds drop. Well, when the 30-year bonds explode like this, interest rates are dropping. Now, when interest rates drop, this shows interest rates are dropping, this chart, right? Well, that is a shot in the arm stimulus to almost every and all companies out there. The second interest rates drop like this, it dramatically helps companies' bottom lines. It helps the price of their stock, because a lot of companies are so intertwined with credit and borrowing and also lending in the form of corporate bonds that the slightest moves in interest rates, moving up hurts the market, moving down helps the market. That's just about every stock that exists. Well, you've got help. Huge stimulus taking place right now. And this didn't happen just yesterday. It's been going on for a while, from here, up, up, up. And that's what really drove rates down. Now, that is a stimulus. It's a shot in the arm to any company you've ever worked with or seen listed on the stock market. What else is giving us a shot in the arm for all these companies? I'll show you right now. This guy is the next shot in the arm, crude oil. This is an absolute immediate stimulus to any and all companies that produce a product. Any company that produces a product, they've just seen the price of their carry charge, meaning their interest rates that they're paying to borrow money and to lend money, have gotten cheaper, making their stocks worth more. And the cost of traveling, the cost of transportation, moving raw materials from point A to point B, building the product, shipping it to point C, that has all gotten dramatically cheaper. Crude was $84.50, it's $71.67 when it got down here 2 days ago. That is a huge move. I am telling you that the other things happening in the markets, plus the technical 200 bar moving average, plus what's happening with crude and bonds, lower rates and lower transportation costs will counteract the drop. And what does that mean? Well, that means that this market should catch its legs and start to move higher. Will it? Well, we've got stops in if we're going to trade, just in case it doesn't. But the evidence points to it. And I started telling you about this evidence on Monday. It's only Tuesday evening for Wednesday's trading, and it's already starting to shape up. Now, will this take place immediately this week, or will we still hang around here and explode next week? That's up to the markets, but I am telling you what I just showed you tonight should calm you down and make you recognize that we're not in a serious crash just yet. Now, if these decide to turn around and have a massive drop and go through here and keep going lower, of course, we'll reassess. But that's not what happened. The street came in and bought at the 200 bar moving average. Bonds are dropping, or rates are dropping dramatically as bonds go up in price. Crude is dropping dramatically as the cost of transportation goes down. Something like this is built out of stocks. The stocks that make up the S&P, their bottom line is getting better, and you're seeing that recovery. Same thing, of course, if you look at the Dow, you're going to get the same sort of action. If the market holds here and interest rates continue to do what they're doing, the buyers will come back in. The 200 bar moving average, we know the street watches, right? It's not magic, but the street watches it. And a lot of times If it holds, you go back up. If it breaks, you will continue lower. At this point, it's held and put a straight, nice up day in, nice green bar, and it looks like it wants to hold from here, at least according to my OMNI. And then there's this. If the rest of it didn't show you, the 200 ball moving average has some meaning. Look at what happened on Bitcoin. The same thing, Bitcoin chart, right? Bitcoin daily, inside this massive flag, it held, right? Stops at the top, holds at the bottom, stops at the top, holds at the bottom, stops at the top. Well, it took out stops at the bottom, but it went back above, and now it's 2 days above the 200 ball moving average already. Nice hold, wonderful hold, right? So far so good. Don't panic out there. We will take this one day at a time. This evidence should at least calm you down, if nothing else. Now, again, will it happen this week or next week? I can't determine that for sure. It looks like it should start this week, but that stimulus I just showed you will push the markets back up.
Traders, that was last week. Okay, so I gave out my evidence. I showed my OmniX around the world. What should happen? This is where we were, and here's what's happened since. Is that not fantastic analysis? I mean, come on, look at this thing. It held exactly where it was supposed to. Now it's above the 200 ball moving average and above the 100 ball moving average. Wall Street is watching that. And now you've got this. Look at that. Now you just got above what was resistance. Now there's almost no technical excuse to take this higher. There's no reason not to. You've gotten above everything. You held once again at the 200. You're above that resistance channel. And there's one more, because geometry, I promise you, every bit of the geometry I'm showing you is wrapped up in algorithms on Wall Street. Now watch this. It's even back above this trend channel. This was another channel right here that was working towards the upside. This blue line to this blue line. Well, you're back above that. So we're back in this trend channel. And we're above this trend channel. The street is not going to give up just yet, but let me show you what else we've got going on out there. So let's see what happened. That's what happened. AI, algos, call them whatever you want to call them. Nothing beats good old-fashioned technical analysis. Let's go see if we're right about that. So last week I mentioned that this week we are going up based on technical evidence. Don't listen to anything else out there. The news, don't listen to anything. The technicals will tell you exactly what's going to happen. That was right on the money. Let's see who's next. I got a list of charts I want to run down for you. Let's see. Next one is chart number 7. Think you'll appreciate this. Here's where we were, a megaphone style, which is kind of ridiculous, but I figured I'd label it anyway. Flag was forming. And this is your NASDAQ daily bar. And if you remember how panicked the world was last week, we were dropping, the panic began. And of course, I came out with that video to calm everybody down, right? Here's where we were. And this is what happened since. Can you ask for better? I mean, come on now. The charts will always tell you what's going to happen next. Admittingly, we did not catch some of these days. I tried very hard. We just didn't get filled, but we called the market correctly. Don't worry. This week's not over. We have time to get in. So now you are back above the resistance channel, right? Get rid of this flag. Forget about all that stuff. It did at least show us what was going on. Video was done here as it held the 200 ball moving average and the bottom of this channel. All of that support worked. I promise you, Wall Street is watching. I grew up on Wall Street from 18 till my 40s till we closed down the exchanges, and they were all gone and everyone went electronic. I was there for the whole gamut. They watch this. I promise you, I am Wall Street. You can listen to anyone else's mumbo jumbo. Ask them if they've spent their entire lives doing this. If they haven't, make sure you're paying attention to me. So NASDAQ daily bar above the trend lines, above certainly the averages. Certainly now you're above the 100 bar average here as well. Let's go see if the Dow is paying attention. Dow Jones Transportation Average did the same thing. It held at the 200. Lovely. Is that the 200? Let's check. I don't think that's 200, kids. It doesn't even look like a 200 bar average. Let's go see what that is. That's 139 bar average. I didn't think that was it. So you got 139 bar average. I don't make these up. I use whatever Wall Street's following. I don't care what the average is. If I see they're using it, I'm using it. This is the 139 on the Dow Jones, not the 200. It came into play. It's worked really well. Will it get back above? Let's see. Oh, look at that. We gapped open and we are above. We are going to continue higher, kids. Everything is set in place so far. So Dow Jones followed, the NASDAQ followed, the ES followed. So if we're sitting here right now, and let me show you a little trend line. If we're sitting here right now, remember the trend line resistance in NASDAQ? Well, it didn't work. The trend line resistance in OMNI S&P, that didn't work. The trend line resistance is probably not going to work either, and you're going to get above it in your Dow, which is on chart 12, if I remember. So you should get above this because everything else is getting above. And why wouldn't it follow along? So yes, the answer is we will get above that. It will follow like the S&P and NASDAQ. Now, back to the NASDAQ for a moment. We are above this, which was absolutely wreaking havoc on the market for a while because look here, every time you got near this trend line, you dropped. Even if you went near it, you dropped. Hit it, dropped. But then things change. Well, let's go out and see if this is happening on a daily. Is it happening on the weekly as well? Absolutely, positively. NASDAQ had a big problem not too long ago. Well, what the problem was, it fell out of a trend channel. It never falls out of. Now, this is a weekly chart. Every one of these bars represents a full week, 5 days of trading. Very important when a market holds channels like this on a weekly. So it holds, resistance, 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 falls back, holds 3 weeks in a row, hits resistance, falls back, gets through. Looks scary, right? But we're back. It's back in there already. Markets have already gained their legs, just like we promised you last week they would do. I don't have a crystal ball. Well, you know, I tend to do. Actually, I have a crystal ball, but I don't use it when it comes to trading. You know what my crystal ball is? The OMNI. Oscar's Market Navigational Indicator. It tells me everything I need to know. So let's go look around. What else do we have? We even have one that would not cooperate at all starting to cooperate. The Russell 2000. So I showed this to you a few days ago and said, look, we've got 6 failed attempts to get above the OMNI Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, or OTAPMA, right? Bar 7 didn't exist. Here's where we were. And we had 6 failed attempts. Well, yesterday it got above for the first time. And look what it did today. It's a wonderful thing. So all of this now goes away. The failed attempts have now failed at failing, and we have gotten above. Fantastic. And I'm sure the street's looking at that too. We're doing great. The markets are absolutely looking like they're going to want to hold. Now, what else do we have? Here is your reasoning. We filmed the video right here telling you as bonds go up, the interest rates drop and stock market goes up. This is what happened since then. Bonds have gone up, interest rates have dropped, and you have seen the market dramatically turn around. This stuff all fits together like a puzzle. You just need to understand how the pieces fit. And it literally is one big puzzle. In fact, I use this board. I never watch charts at all during the day. I only watch this ticker board. These are my puzzle pieces. And when they move out of sync, I know they're out of sync. When they come back in, I know they come back in. How do I know? I follow the chart patterns. Now, the charting that I do is very simplistic because the last thing we want to do is complicate this mess. Let's go look at something else. Netflix, the day we filmed the video, was the first up day, and it just continued moving higher from that day. But what I like the most about Netflix is this. Let's move over a little so you don't lose the title. Netflix is now, it held this average beautifully, and the trend line, broke the trend line. We came out with the video right here and said, don't worry, it's going back up. And we are back above into the channel. And get this, it's already cleared the same resistance that you keep seeing in this. Let's do an undo on that. The same resistance that you keep seeing in the stock market and the Dow and everything else I've shown you, It's above that resistance line too. So let's darken that line in so you can see it. You are above that. And I promise you, Wall Street is watching. Geometry is more important to Wall Street than any other aspect of the market. They watch geometry. Now, they might not be looking at the angle. They're watching it in tabular form. No difference to me. I can visualize it or I can calculate it. It looks the same. It should look the same to you. This is not difficult analysis, right? This is very simple, follow the bouncing ball type analysis. What else is out there? Let's see what else did really well. I just looked at Netflix, right? I think we've got a couple of other charts that we were going to go over. Yeah, let's look in here. Oh, look what NVIDIA did. Now, if you recall, and you guys in Traders Corners will recall this, Traders Corner, I did this webinar for you several months ago and called you welcome to the AI revolution with this exact same chart. And I mentioned to you that when I've been part of this market since the 80s, when the computers hit in the 80s, we had a rally for 6 to 7 years. Nothing goes straight up, but it lasted about 6 to 7 years before the frenzy of new computers hitting the world finally died out and everyone had a computer on their desk. The internet hit, 94, we did about 6 to 7 straight years till 2001 crash came. AI just came out. It's another one of those, just like the internet, just like computers. The AI is only 2 years old. There's no shot we're going down for a while. Yes, nothing goes straight up, right? So we all know that markets don't go straight up. They go up, and then they come down a little and correct, then they go up, and they come down a little and correct. But overall, you probably got 5 more years of this AI rally, getting into the markets, getting into companies, getting into on people's desks, if you will, and exploding our markets. I mean, AI is truly a new internet, like when the internet came out. So NVIDIA, holding this massive channel line for quite some time, finally breaks that line, gets down, but what does it do? It smacks cold at the average, like it always does. Stops cold, video comes out, not just because of the average, because my OMNI flipped back up to bullish, with coincidentally with the average, 200 bar. And boom, we did a video on this day, and look where we are now. Let's not do that. So we're freaking this prominent. So let me spread some crosshairs so I can move around on this. We did our video here. It exploded. Now we are above the channel once again. So the major stocks that make up our stock market are now above resistance. The indices that are made up of all those stocks are above resistance. The street came in and saved us at the 200. You've got nothing but bullish news happening here. And imagine this. You're going to get, and I've been doing this for a really long time. I do not think the Fed should lower rates at this next meeting, but it appears they're going to. What a shot in the arm that's going to be. We don't need it, but we'll take it for the markets. That's going to make things just go berserk, kids. What else is out there? Let's see. All right, so a lot of this is happening because of a particular market, and it's the dollar index. Now, the dollar has been going down, and I'm starting to hear chatter about that. People are saying, oh, look at the spiraling dollar. It's worth $1 too. It's not even, it's worth over $1. We're nowhere near levels that the dollar would matter much, except for this. As that dollar gets cheaper, foreign countries, foreign entities, they need to basically cash in their currency to buy our dollars so that they can buy our stocks and our bonds. So yeah, it'll slide down, but it's not going to crash the dollar because the rest of the world needs our dollar to get into our butt-kicking stock market. Now, these are the charts I wanted to show you. Back to this, that tells us the evidence I just gave you, plus the evidence last week that showed us I was going to be right, and here we are, tells me to tell you that we will continue higher. Nothing goes straight up, but we will continue higher. Now, oddly enough, in the beginning of this year, here, I came up with a year-end target, and the year-end target was all the way up at 5760. We were in the 43 area when I made that target, 4,300 S&P. It rallied all the way up. But look, it's gotten as high as, and let's get something to tell us the prices. It's been as high as 57.21.20. 25. Now, I called for 57.60 when it was in the 43s. Is that it? Was that the call? Maybe it was only going to go to 57.21, not 57.60. Did the year-end call already happen? So when we got up there and started to drop, I started to wonder, wow, Oscar, did the year-end call happen? That's it? Are we done? Did we cop out? And then this happened, and I was able to say, no, obviously we didn't cop out. So there is one more year-end call. It's the, God forbid we ever get past 57.60. There's another year-end call, but I never expected we'd get past 57.60. Now, it is on my whiteboard, which is in every single video I do every night, or just about every night. So it's in all the videos this year, my target. So we're not making these things up. But we actually did hit that target. Then we did come down. So it meant something in the 5700s, but not enough to crack this market, especially when you go back and look at something like a weekly. There is no broken market here when you look at that chart. Everyone listening, do you see a broken market or a market in trouble when you look at this chart? Does anyone see a broken market or a market in trouble? You do not. If you see one, you're clouding your own brain. There's nothing broken there. Now, if an event took place where we came back down and put a couple of bars in and ended up going lower than this low right here, well, of course, that's going to change the picture dramatically, right? We redo our analysis. But so far, so good. Everything is in place that needs to be in place. And I think we're going to be okay to buy the dips for the rest of this year. Nothing goes straight up. That is my presentation to you. I don't think I'm going to use the rest of the time. I thank you all so much for tuning in, and I hope this helped to just calm everyone down and let you realize that we are not in a crash right now. It's just not happening technically.
Oscar, thank you so much. Always have nuggets of gold with you every time I see you, man.
I
Really
just
appreciate it.
So thank you for allowing me to present, and please send them to my website where they can, for absolutely free, no credit cards are required or anything. You can join me and you can be with me in this live trading room, which doesn't cost $1. We'll hang out with each other. We'll get through these rough and tumble markets, and whatever happens from there will happen. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for this opportunity. And I'd like to end with, you know what the mantra is, right, OMNIX? If you're out there, you're going to have to say this one with me. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Stops are in. Like this, put them in. Emotions are out. And that is the truth, kids. Put those stops in first. It keeps all the emotions at bay. Thank you very much. I hope to see you all at livewithoscar.com.
Thank you, Oscar. Really, really appreciate this. If there's any other additional links that I didn't put in the chat, please feel free to do so as well.
Yeah, generally I just send people to Live with Oscar where they can create a free membership. If you're not a member, let me just show you quickly. You just register, and there's nothing to fill out, no credit cards. That's all you need to fill out right there. But here's what will happen. Once you click send, you're going to get an email. And it's going to go to spam. I don't know why that is. There's no way to correct it. Your email will go to spam. Go to spam, click the email, and in a moment, you will be at Live with Oscar, which is this, and you can easily join me in my live trading room. And then Dano, who's got his information right here for you, you can always contact Dano at Live with Oscar. I don't know if I can make that any bigger, but Dano at Live with Oscar will set you up, get you set up with the room. We've got a Discord channel, so you never miss anything that's going on in here. Everything that we do is logged for you, so it'll go out over Discord, Telegram. You get an email, you get a flash pop-up. We do everything we can to make sure our OMNIACs are right in tune with me in this trading room at all times. So again, livewithoscar.com will get you there, and Dano at livewithoscar.com will get you set up.